So today I wanted to talk about, of course, the thing that's so much in our minds and in our hearts right now, which is the loss of Chadwick Boseman, aka the Black Panther. And I wanted to speak from a personal level and the impact that this has had on me and my family, the impact that Black Panther has had on us. I think I didn't really realize until hearing that he passed, I didn't realize the impact that this whole thing has had on our family, really, and how Black Panther has become like a part of our lives and has been it really became a way for our family to express ourselves. So I hope that this video would be a way for me to honor Chadwick Boseman, and to just pay tribute to his life and appreciate the great work that he did. And I felt moved to do this because of the impact that his character, Black Panther, has had on our family, the impact the entire movie and the entire cultural shift has really had on us personally as a family, the positive impact that it's had. And this was really interesting to me. So when I heard that he passed, I was just incredibly sad and just incredibly moved at now reflecting on his life, thinking that the last 4 years he had a terminal disease. And I was really moved, and I started to really think about and reflect in myself why this was something that moved me so much. Because to be honest, I'm not one who kind of gets moved with celebrities going through things. Not that I don't feel anything for them, or I don't think it's sad, or even I might even pray for them. But I mean, if it's somebody I don't know personally, it's still like I feel that kind of distance. But somehow this impacted me more than others, and I started to really think about why. And the reason, I think, because this was embodied a character that really was a family thing for us in our house. So of course our house being half African native, half African American, Black Panther was a huge deal to us. This was a huge deal in our house. So I just wanted to talk about what it really meant to our family. One, I will say, it really represented a great memory for us that I remember when we went to the theaters, when we saw the movie. My husband and I went first, and we loved it. And then we went a second time and took the boys, and I can remember exactly the theater we went to. I remember, they, in those times, they made a big deal about going to the movies and would wear their pajamas and would want to bring blankets and everything. And then we let them do that and go all out. So it was like an awesome memory of something that we did with the boys. And then after, what I didn't anticipate is how much also the girls would be into it. Like my one daughter was obsessed with the movie and was in love with T'Challa and would always get worried when he was fighting in the movie, and just it was literally our family's favorite movie, and I feel like still is. Like we still watch it really often. And the kids never seem to get tired of it, and I don't think that I get tired of it either. So on one level it was just kind of a good memory. So it was really sad if you see something like that happen to the lead actor. But then on another level, on thinking about the actor as a person, of Chadwick Boseman as a person, and really what it represented to me as the adult, knowing the behind the scenes. I mean, I was just so impressed with the seriousness that he took this role. When you would hear him in interviews and things talk about how seriously he was taking it, how much he worked on the accent, how much research went into the different cultures, representing the cultures. The concept of Wakanda itself just was just genius and empowering to us as a family with roots in Africa. I know Wakanda is a fictional place, but at the same time it's not, because they explain this is not supposed to be a futuristic Africa. This is supposed to be an Africa that could have been, had it not been colonized and put through, and actually had control of their own resources. And that is something that will, if you've been to Africa, if you've at all shown a little bit of interest in the political economic situation, that's something that you will just be thinking about for days. That you will just can't get out of your mind, thinking about Wakanda and the way that you saw it in the movie, and how it's not actually fiction, but it's what could have been, in fact, what should have been. So it's impactful on that level, and to see an actor want to bring that to life and want to show positive representation of Africa, it was a blessing to me. It blessed my soul. It makes me feel good. What I see in Africa as an African American, I love Africa. And that's part of the reason that I have this channel, to try to inspire that love for Africa to my own people. And a mutual, genuine respect, because the disrespect between Africans and African Americans is shameful. So when this movie came out and you have an African American actor playing an African king, you have the cast with half popular, powerful African American actors and actresses, and the other half of the cast, beautiful, powerful African native actors and actresses. This was impactful to me. It was exactly what I was talking about, just that we're better together, that we need to really represent and understand that we're part of the same people. Even the storyline of the movie, of course, deals with that topic. It deals with that topic. I remember Chadwick Boseman in an interview talked about there is a scene that's an in-house conversation, meaning that between diasporans and Native Africans, the whole scene about Killmonger and his dad, when he kind of has the vision of his dad, and just wrestling with the fact that he was African but grew up as an African, well, that he was half African American and half African, grew up as an African American, struggling and dealing with his identity, that he felt like he went to Wakanda and they called him an outsider when in fact he was their family. And as an African American, I could so relate to that, that feeling like I'm coming home, but then actually you're not seen, you're treated well and you're treated beautifully, but you're still not considered necessarily family at first. So just that kind of feeling as an African American of being orphaned in a sense and not feeling like you have a home, the story deals with that. You know, and I remember even Chadwick Boseman was the first person I heard talk about African ancestry, that you should really trace your roots to know your African tribe instead of just your general ancestry. He was the first person I heard promoting that, and he proudly proclaimed that he was actually found out he was Sierra Leonean, like my husband. So I remember telling my boys that, do you know Black Panther is from Sierra Leone? If they could get any more proud of the movie, you couldn't imagine the way that they glowed, the way they were proud to have this superhero, proud to have this movie. I just feel like even though I've not seen them have the experience of experiencing that animosity, where I could say other African youth, I've seen them come here and sometimes get made fun of for their accent or for their food or the way they dress or whatever. And God forbid my kids will not have that experience on either side. But at the same time, it's a little harder, I think, to start to make fun of Africans when your favorite superhero is talking with an accent. So I just feel like in so many ways this movie just brought walls down, and it wasn't just a movie to us. It really wasn't just a movie. It was a piece of art that really expressed our hearts and really expressed how we feel about each other and how we feel about Africa, how we think Africans should feel about African Americans, and vice versa. So it was just beautiful, and I think Chadwick himself embodied this, not just on the screen, but off of the screen, the way that he interacted with and talked about the concepts of the movie. and the African actors that he was working with, the respect that he showed, it really kind of, I mean, it made Africa cool to so many people, and that is really touches my heart. So I want to leave with this. My favorite scene, my absolute favorite scene, that has always been my favorite scene in the movie, is where T'Challa comes back, where they think that he's dead, but of course he was just hanging on by a thread, and they're able to give him the herb, and he gets his power, and he comes back in the midst of battle. And he comes back, and the way he appears, I just love it. The way that he appears, and he reminds them the rules of engagement on the challenge, and he says, well, I never surrendered, and as you can see, I'm not dead. And that scene is my favorite, but it really rang to me thinking about you know, when somebody has passed on, and the way that their memories and the things that they leave us can make it as if they're still here with us. So I feel like in some way that scene was prophetic to Chadwick Boseman's life when he said those words, you know, I never surrendered. And surely he didn't. He continued with the work that he felt like he was called to do on this earth until the end. And he said, and as you can see, I'm not dead. And I think in some way he's not dead. He's not dead to me or to my kids. Black Panther is never going to be dead. Will always be, you know, a powerful character, and we're grateful for Chadwick Boseman for bringing him to life for us. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. You enjoyed hearing my thoughts and hearing my heart on this. And I do want to give condolences and prayers for the family, and for friends and anyone else affected. But we are grateful for this kind of art and this expression of love between Black people all over the world. Till next time, this is Culture to Culture TV, and Larisse saying good night.